Today I'm going to be telling you about the time I went to St. Louis and something terrible happened to me. About 6 years ago, I went to visit my stepsister and her husband in St. Louis. We were going down one of the main streets of downtown, and we pulled into the parking lot of their apartment building. Just something about that apartment building kind of made me shiver a little bit. But what really creeped me out is when we went down into the parking garage. It was so dark, and it was just really eerie down there. And it almost looked foggy in that underground parking garage. Everything was really creepy until my stepsister and her husband came down to greet us. We unloaded everything from our van, and we put it in the elevator to go up to the 5th floor where they live. Once we got in the apartment, it just looked so creepy. It was just so dark in there. And my mind went back to the hallway and the dripping pipe. The whole building was just creepy. I knew it was cheap, but the whole thing was just dark and creepy. I don't see how anyone could live there. So we unpacked and just kind of watched a little bit of TV. Later that night, I was still up at 3 in the morning with the light on, and the light barely provided any light at all. It got really, really dark because the power went off, and I just freaked out. I didn't yell because I knew everyone else was in bed, but I knew I couldn't stay in that apartment. So I took my stepsister's keys without her knowing, and I left the apartment. I went downstairs and exited the main lobby, and I went around the back of the building because I needed a break from that apartment. But as I was down there, I got a text from this number I've never seen before. It said, "Look out," in all caps with 3 exclamation points. And it just freaked me out. When I looked up from my phone, I saw something dash behind a dumpster. Like, just sprinted completely behind the dumpster. And it really creeped me out. That's when I thought about going back inside. I almost screamed because of how much it scared me. So I called out, "Hey." I got no response. But I did hear trash. I did hear trash bags moving after I did say that. Then I heard my phone ding again. I looked down and I saw a text from that random number again that said, "I'm not letting you hear my voice." And then, that's when I just completely froze. Because I had yelled out to the figure, and I never heard a response. But that text related to what was happening. And I knew instantly that this thing or person was definitely trying to scare me. So I texted back, not being able to move anything other than my fingers, "Quit pranking me." Then I got another text, in all caps, It said, I'm not. This is when things started to get really creepy. I looked up from my phone, and about 4.5 feet from me stood the figure I had seen. It's almost like my body and brain forgot what to do. I couldn't blink, I couldn't breathe, and worstly, I couldn't move. But my legs had that tingly feeling of when you get nervous. We just sat there eye to eye, but this thing had no pupils. In his eye sockets, its eye sockets, it just looked like a giant ball of hardened milk. It was just white. I was so terrified. And then I got a text from that same number, but I never saw that figure take out a phone or do anything except for just stand there and look at me. I read the text, still freaking out from what was feet away from me. It said, now I will let you hear my voice. I looked up. It had gotten closer to my face. And it said, run. I couldn't tell which one was more terrifying. The actual sound of its voice, or what it had said. Instantly, I knew I had to do what it said. I ran back into the building with the key and shut the door right behind the figure. I went back up the elevator, and as soon as I had opened the elevator door, I heard that same voice. So I just kept running back to the apartment until I finally got back in the apartment. But once I got there, my entire family was gone. I had checked their rooms to see if they were still asleep or if they were looking for me. Gone. And then it startled me a little because I was so frightened to hear my phone go off again. I looked down. It was the same number that had contacted me before. Same number of the figure. And it said, don't be surprised that they're gone. Now I know never to leave an apartment building at 3 a.m. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little creepy story. It's not really true, obviously, but if you want to see more creepy stories, please tell me down in the comments, and I will definitely post more. Tell me what you want to hear, and yes, I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye. Subscribe.